Okay, we are going to do coefficient of variation in this next problem, so we need to discuss what it is. The coefficient of variation, abbreviated CV, is simply the standard deviation divided by the mean times 100. That's for the sample. For the population, it's the population standard deviation, sigma, divided by its mean, mu, times 100. And if you go on, it tells you that coefficients of variations are usually rounded to one decimal place, but they're percentages. So you multiply them by 100 to convert them to a percent. Okay, here is our problem. Let's do it in STCrunch first. We want to go to stat. We want summary stats, and we want it based on columns. We want it systolic and diastolic. You got to hold down your shift or your control or your command keys or whatever there to get those to go. But the two things that we need are the standard deviation and the mean. Okay, we want to store this data in our table, and then we're going to compute it. And they've created a new column for both of those. Okay, now we want to compute the actual coefficient of variation. So we go to data and we want to compute for an expression. Now, what is the coefficient of variation? It's the standard deviation. So click out here, build. You see standard deviation. You want to click till you see it come up there. Divided by the mean, kind of a double click, then times 100. And what is this? What is this? Okay, we've done that. Okay, type OK. And then the label, we want to label it CV for coefficient of variation and compute it. And you're given a new column. All right, now we need to see if we can move this enough that we can see what we're doing and answer our questions. The coefficient of variation for the systolic was what? To one decimal place. 14.5. Okay, the coefficient of variation for the diastolic was 17.0. Okay, now we can answer the question. The coefficient of variation for each data set are blank, therefore the systolic measurements vary what? They are, how far apart are they? If we subtract that from that 2.5, they are within 5 percentage points. So we would say that they are about the same if they're within 5. If they're more than 5, they differ too much. Okay, let's do similar question, and let's do this one in